Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you navigate some of life's trickier moments, and today, well, we're tackling something we all face: canceling or rescheduling an appointment. It sounds simple, but it can get awkward, right? We want to equip you not just with the words, but, understanding the social stuff behind it.
Exactly. And our source for this is actually a really interesting English lesson. It uses these real-world type dialogues that show it's not always straightforward. So our mission here is to pull out the key vocabulary, the conversational strategies, and maybe some surprising bits so you can handle these situations smoothly with confidence.
Yeah, and the source really throws us in at the deep end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It starts with this phone call. Angela calls Samantha, needs
Okay.
to reschedule their meeting that afternoon, and she uses that phrase, I have a bit of an emergency.
The classic emergency. Seems clear enough.
You'd think so, but then moments later, Angela looks up, and she sees Samantha, not dealing with an emergency, but trying on a red leather jacket in a shop.
Oh, wow. So the emergency was shopping.
Pretty much. Angela gets it instantly. But what's fascinating is Samantha's next move. She calls Angela back and says something like, you know what, actually, I can't make it either.
No way. So she kind of mirrors Angela's fib. That's quite something.
Right. So this first story just immediately makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, how often does this kind of thing happen where the reason given isn't quite the whole truth?
It really sets the stage. It shows that rescheduling isn't just about calendars. It's about how we manage expectations and maybe even honesty.
Yeah, relational capital, as you said before we started.
Exactly. But let's round this a bit. Let's talk about the actual words we use. The toolkit, maybe?
Good idea. So when plans change, what are the essential terms we need?
Okay, first one. Reschedule. Simple enough on the surface, just means picking another day or time, like moving a Thursday meeting to Friday at 1. But think about it. Saying reschedule instead of just cancel often signals, you still want the meeting to happen. It implies commitment.
Right, it's not just dropping it entirely. It shows intent. Okay, what else?
Next up is inconvenience. To inconvenience someone is to make things difficult for them, basically. You hear it a lot in apologies. Hope this doesn't inconvenience you too much. And it's not just politeness, it's smart. Acknowledging the disruption up front can, take the sting out of it, shows you value their time.
That makes sense. It's about managing the other person's reaction. And the last one.
The third one is postpone. Now, this is similar to reschedule, but often feels a bit looser.
Looser. How so?
Well, sometimes postpone means delaying it, maybe without setting a new date right away. It can suggest maybe less urgency than reschedule, which usually leads straight into finding that new slot.
Ah, I see. So reschedule feels more concrete, postpone a bit more open-ended. Understanding that difference is pretty useful for managing expectations.
Definitely. These aren't just definitions. They're tools for navigating the conversation.
Okay, so we have the words, but the source material also contrasts that tricky Angela-Samantha situation with, a model example of how to do it well, right?
Exactly. It gives us this second dialogue, which is, frankly, much healthier. Both people handled the reschedule with a lot of understanding, empathy, really. And the reasons given are super relatable. Things like something urgent came up at work, or being in a crunch phase, things pile up, having an unpredictable schedule.
Yeah, those sound familiar. They feel genuine, not like vague excuses.
Right. And that helps build a connection. But what really stands out is the empathy shown.
How so?
Well, you hear phrases like, oh, I totally get it, or don't worry about it at all. And crucially, sometimes things just come up that we can't control.
That last one's important. It validates the situation without judgment. It turns a cancellation from a problem into just life happening.
Precisely. And it diffuses any guilt. Then there's the flexibility piece.
Ah, yes. Flexibility.
They talk about playing it by ear for the new time and saying things like, no pressure at all. It makes finding the new time a shared task, not a demand.
Which sounds much less stressful.
Totally. And here's a great little twist in that dialogue. The other person actually welcomed the delay. They admitted they also had a couple of projects that need finishing.
Oh, so it ended up in a win-win. That's brilliant.
Yeah. It really drives home the point that sometimes it's genuinely better to reschedule than to rush through things. And you shouldn't feel overly guilty about canceling if the timing just isn't right for a productive meeting. It respects everyone's time in the long run.
That's a really good insight. Quality over just sticking to the schedule no matter what.
Exactly. Now, building on that, the source also pulls out some really common, useful phrases for just everyday conversation, things that help you sound natural.
Okay, the fluency builders. What have we got?
First one, what's up? Super common, very informal greeting, like, how's it going?
Right. And the key is knowing how to answer, because it's not really asking for a detailed report, is it?
Not at all. The standard replies are just not much or nothing. Maybe, hey, how are you? It's just a quick way to connect, a little social lubricant.
Got it. Simple, effective. What's next?
Next is can't make it. This is just a really smooth, polite way to say you cannot attend something. I can't come.
Yeah, much less formal than I am unable to attend.
Exactly. You might say, sorry, I can't make it to the party, or, I can't make it to the meeting I'm recording today. It's clear, concise, universally understood.
Useful. And the last one. You mentioned it's versatile.
Ah, yes. This thing came up. This phrase is like the Swiss Army knife of excuses, or just explanations for unexpected changes.
Uh-huh. The Swiss Army knife. I like that.
Because it works for almost anything. It lets you signal that something unforeseen happened without going into maybe TMI territory. Too much information. Could be a genuine emergency, or it could be, well, like Angela, something you'd rather not specify.
So its strength is its vagueness.
Pretty much. But that's also where you need to be careful, right? Using it too often, or when people suspect it's not genuine, can erode trust. Unlike the red leather jacket situation.
Which brings us right back to where we started. Angela and Samantha. That phrase, this thing came up, can cover such a huge range. A real crisis. Or finding the perfect jacket. It really forces you, the listener, to think about the times you've had to change plans. When is this thing a genuine, unavoidable issue? And when is it maybe something else, a choice, a preference, an opportunity?
Yeah, and the original hosts in the source material actually touched on this. One of them, Erica, said she'd never cancel just to go shopping using a fake reason. It wasn't her style.
Okay, a commitment to directness there.
Right. But then the other host, Marco, told a story about canceling a business meeting because Ecuador was playing in the World Cup.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How did that go down?
Apparently his boss was surprisingly cool with it, understood it was important to him.
Huh. That's interesting. It shows there's a whole spectrum of reasons and maybe different levels of acceptance depending on the relationship or the culture.
Exactly. It's not always black and white. So for you listening, think about your own approach. Are your reasons typically emergencies? Or are they sometimes about prioritizing something unexpected? Or even just personal well-being? It says a lot about how you communicate.
So let's try and wrap this up. What are the big takeaways from this deep dive?
Okay, so I think first, understanding the power of specific words. Reschedule implies commitment. Inconvenience shows respect. Postpone suggests maybe more flexibility or uncertainty. Second, everyday phrases. Knowing how to use what's up, can't make it, and that very useful, potentially tricky phrase, this thing came up. And maybe most importantly, seeing that empathy and flexibility aren't just nice to haves when rescheduling. They can actually make the whole interaction smoother, build trust, and sometimes even lead to a better outcome for everyone, like that win-win scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing these nuances isn't just about, avoiding awkwardness. It's about making conscious choices in how you communicate. It can turn these little logistical things into chances to actually connect better with people.
Well said. It's about being effective, yes, but also considerate and clear.
So, to leave you with something to think about.
Considering that whole range of reasons we talked about, from work crises to World Cup matches to, yes, red leather jackets, what does it actually mean to be reliable? How do we balance respecting other people's time and commitments with our own needs, priorities, and maybe those unexpected things that just come up? Where's that line for you?